Well, hello and welcome back. I am here to watch episodes 20 through 30 of 9 a.m. Last we left off, we did, I think it was Tickets to Heaven. And this one begins the arc where I like to call it Save the Bar arc. But this took place on Thanksgiving. It's not really a Thanksgiving episode, but it was a great opportunity for me to just throw all the characters in one place. You'll get to see who they all are, and I hope you enjoy. If it's too loud, let me know.
Excuse me, are you Walter? I am afraid you have the wrong guy. That's your real name, Tip. Huh? I have to hand it to you, Tip. That was the best pregame for Thanksgiving ever. No worries, boys. It was my sincere pleasure. Excuse me, are you Walter? I am afraid.
I love my little generic bank guy. He's from the bank because he carries a briefcase that says the bank.
Afraid you have the wrong guy. That's your real name, Tip. Huh? Okay then, sure. Walter, I am from the bank. Oh, I remember you now. You helped me get the bar. Brian, get a beer for my friend. Walter, the reason I am here is to tell you that the bank will be repossessing this bar due to non-payment on the property. Tip, you haven't been paying your bills? They never sent me any. We mailed you several. Was it because they were all addressed to Walter? Shit. How much time does he have to catch up on his payments?
Okay, so real quick, poor Tip. We pick on him ever since we were kids. We called him Tip. It's a name given to him by his older sister. It was a nickname because his name was Walter Jr. For second generation, but not all the kids immediately go by Walter, or Wally, and instead they just call him Tip. So he was Tip ever since whatever. His brand is now Bam, but we've always known him as Tip. But there's always been that confusion of like, we'll be in a group of friends. I think I even mentioned this in the Honor Guard versus the Drill Team stuff, where we're talking and then all of a sudden you have someone say, "Hey, Walter, what's going on?" All of us are like, "Who the hell are you talking about?" And he's all, "That's my name." "Oh, that's right. Okay, sorry, Tip." But poor guy, he's such a good sport about letting me play those type of jokes and has a really good attitude about it. So this begins where the bank guy is telling Tip, "Hey, you know what? You haven't paid any of your bills." And Tip's like, "Oh, really?" So he says, "Oh, we're going to have to repossess the bank now, so good luck."
1 month. After that, we are turning this place into a Tyson Chicken Express. Good day.
Yes.
What about all the money the bar's been making? What did you do with it? What do you mean? What have you been charging people? Pat, what have we been charging people? Nothing. You haven't paid Brian in months. Ack. Karma. Well, this is definitely a problem. Hey, what?
Okay, so the karma thing is obviously about, well, if you were here last time, you didn't know about the whole thing in Germany where Jeff got essentially suckered into having to take Tip to the airport the night after Brandon's wedding. And it was a whole little inside joke, not that big a deal. And in this case, yes, Tip's like, "Oh gosh, we haven't been paying anything for this place. We've just had it." So now they're going to come collect. They're going to try to get the payment due. And now it's, what are they going to do? So let's see if we can prep the next episode.
Come on, almost there. Come on, almost there. You know, if we need money, why don't we start a YouTube channel and a Patreon? I hear that's a great way to build a solid financial foundation. Must be nice to live in delusion.
So you see, this video was uploaded, oh man, excesses of 7 years ago. Jeez, I don't even remember. A long time ago. And it was, even then, I still had that hopeful, let's just start a YouTube channel. It's fun. It's so fun. And it is fun for making stuff that you're passionate about. But if you're planning to go into it for a career and you're not willing to put in the extra effort, like, honestly, I'm not the biggest consistent person in the entire world. It actually was, ironically, Tip who taught me that. So it has to be a fun project and pretty much it. And then if it takes off, great. If it doesn't, well, it was not your thing. All right, but now Tip's counting every single penny that he possibly can, and everybody's coming up with ideas for how they can make money so that they can keep the bar.
Couldn't you just start charging customers, increase prices slightly, and then make a deal with the bank to refinance your loan? I don't have time for your sober logic. There are 9 of us. Why don't we all just
a real
loan
thing
Tip a
Tip says to
fraction of
Johnny
the
once.
money he owes and take a stock from his business? No, 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 that's a great idea. Let's continue discussing options though. Once we find one that really works, we can put
Stupid
all
Johnny.
our effort into it. Ugh. You should just liquidate your assets, pay your debts, close the bar, grow up, and start selling cardboard like a grown man. Sax is right, maybe it is time for me to throw my life away. Ugh. Or
Okay, a couple of jokes there that kind of went by blindingly fast. I probably should have stopped. When they're asking, when Julian's saying, well, why don't we all just pay a portion of what Tip owes and then we'll take stocks in his company and that way we all profit from it. And the guys know better than to want to do something like that. So they're like, no, no, no. And the whole joke is that Johnny's the only one who usually says no. But this time it's Tip. So Johnny was like, wait a minute, maybe I got to say this very carefully. Well, and that's how he is in real life too. He can be very much like, well, that's a good idea and I look forward to it. But you know what? Let's see how this pans out. And if it's a great thing, hey, it's good. But he has this very fun roundabout way of saying no. Now, the second joke is the coins on the table were spelt out by spelling out FU, which you can't tell from this because I didn't want to show it, but it was Brandon who did that. And what that's in reference to is one time when the guys actually, when we all went out to get drinks, and but we were like in high school, so we weren't drinking alcohol. We went to go get like Dr. Peppers and burgers and stuff, and it was at this one place that doesn't exist anymore. It was called the Chelsea Street Pub, and the waitress was just taking forever to bring poor Brandon his Dr. Pepper, and we'd been there for like an hour, 2 hours. We hadn't even we got like food halfway maybe through the first hour, but still, after all this time, he never got his Dr. Pepper. And we would see them sitting at the back and laughing and talking, and we're like, oh, come on. You hate being that person, right? You know they're working hard. You know they got a lot of things going on. And it's one thing if you see him like running around being busy, but she was clearly just sitting there talking to her friend. And I was like, okay. So it was time for the tip. No pun intended. And what we had to do is just get up and we paid and we left. And Brandon left his tip, but what he did is he got all his coins in his wallet and his pockets. And as you know, if you've ever worked as a waiter, it sucks when people give you change because it's just a pain. It's just a pain to have. They prefer like you see, there's something else here on the screen, or here's cash, and then that's a better version of a tip. But if you leave the coins, they have to count it, and it's a whole mess. So that Brandon, this is based off a true story, off of what Brandon did here. Sorry, I know I'm kind of in his way here. Should be fine. Also, there's Chase behind me. And also, at the very end of it, when Tip says, oh, there's no ideas, and then Jeff.
We could just turn half of the bar into a restaurant. Guys, I just had a great idea, you son of a bitch.
The idea is that Tip wasn't listening to anybody's ideas, and then Jeff came up with an idea that was really, really good. And he's like, oh, hey, I have an idea. And Jeff's like, I know you're about to steal my idea. Doggone it. Okay, so the idea behind the restaurant gag was that I was going to make it a part of them like all working together to serve customers and all that, but it really just wasn't feasible for a one-man show at the time. So what I did was try to like make other regular episodes and then work my way up into the solution to save the bar, which maybe we won't go over. We'll see. It will be seen eventually, but chronologically it makes sense to see it, but it is the wrong time of the year to see it. So let's check out the next one.
Hehehe.
Now, before we get into this one, I often can be blamed for maybe picking on the guys too much and never picking on myself. So I made this episode specifically to pick on myself. Mm-hmm.
I am surprised no one has noticed Tip is laughing to himself. Hehehe. Can I get my tab, please? Thanks. By the way, your Boar's light was piss warm, so no tip for you. Hehehe.
Any similarities
Damn it,
are not
the freezers
intentional.
must be acting up. I'll check it out. I didn't think we served that kind of stuff here. Well, where did that customer get a Boar's light? A tip. Are you doing all right? The urinals, Johnny. Oh boy. Heh. I rigged the urinals to drain into Boers Light kegs, and the only complaint so far is that it's warm. Ha 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 ha. That isn't cool. What if one of us had made the same mistake? I don't think.
Hey there, Mr. Flick. Thank you for joining me. Caught me in the middle of laughing at my own jokes. Probably not the greatest thing in the world.
Think any of us are that dumb. Took me a minute to find it, but yeah, Brian, the Boers Light is very warm.
So there is proof that I'm capable of making fun of myself, and the guys have always picked on the typical generic American beer brands, and again, any similarities in the name is totally unintentional. So they there's one time Tip got a hold of a certain type of drink that somehow can cause people to hallucinate, and in the series, it never happened in real life, but in the series, he created a drink with that ingredient, and in it, he decided to play a joke where he went to the restroom and he connected all the urinals to an unused keg. And so when that customer came in and was complaining about the Boers Light, he unintentionally drank the contents of the urinal, right? And then Pat's like, wait a minute, we make sure these kegs are frosty cold all the time. How in the world is that? I'll go check on them. And then Pat comes out totally unaware and oblivious, which sometimes I can be, and be like, hey, it is warm. And the guys are like, oh, no. Why, Pat? Why? All right. So we move on to the next step in Tip's attempt to try to make money to save the bar. This one's called X, which ironically, at the time, this was still called Twitter very much back then. And the joke in it is almost prophetic in a way. And I'm like, oh, geez, is it my fault? But then again, the guy goes around naming everything after that.
That sounds
X.
like a biologically engineered ultra laxative. Guys, I've done it again. Are we broke? I've made ingredient X. That sounds like a biologically engineered ultra laxative. My friends from SpaceX sent me the recipe for sending Elon Musk's Tesla into space. You mean rocket fuel? I just did a little variation of the recipe and now I present. Ingredient, X Ale. The first beer to increase a normal person's strength tenfold. Why would you want to increase the strength of a drunk person?
Very true
Have
statement.
you tested it? I wanted to let my best friends have the honor. Bullshit. Come on, Pat,
Okay, so yes, the idea was that this was about the time that SpaceX was a big deal, and Elon Musk wasn't catching as much, flack for current recent events, and so I figured, okay, let's call it Ingredient X, and it's based off of the fuel that was used to launch it into space. And in the meantime, Tip's like, well, I think it's gonna work, it's gonna sell, but I don't want to try it. And this is kind of how my group of friends works, where it's like, I'll do it, but somebody else has to do it first and survive. And we'll see what happens after that, maybe. And guess who always ends up trying to be the person to try it?
Pat, I swear it's not dangerous, and we need to win that beer competition. Ugh. All right. Huh.
About the mask.
I don't really feel any different. Oh well, toss the rest in the bin, Brian.
So as you can see, I struggle very greatly trying to get to draw muscles. That was pretty bad. No, I go back to that. But you know what? I was making this kind of like in a hurry, and this actually does tie into a bit of the story going forward. Let's see. It's past the Halloween ones, which I'm going to be saving the Halloween ones for closer to Halloween. They kind of tie into the whole pub storyline, but not really. So I think I can safely skip them for now. Those look more like chest hairs than they do like, ooh, I better change that before I get in trouble. But yeah, the idea is that, Tip's trying everything he possibly can to save the pub. I'm going to queue up the next episode, and I'll be right back. Please stay right here.
So it sure has been a
All right, I am back. Um, so this one is kind of like an in-between episode. After I'd made the Halloween episodes forever ago, I had decided to take a small little hiatus, a little break. And of course, saying you're taking a hiatus is the greatest curse to yourself when you're making stuff, because then you're like, you know what, I'm enjoying free time, but no, I must do something. So in between then, to show that I was aware that I was taking forever, I made this episode called Lazy Busy. And it's just basically me describing what it's like to be like, I'm lazy, but I'm so busy enjoying not having a million one things to do, which I think almost any content creator can, relate to. Especially good old Mr. Flick here, where you're just so comfy and you're like, oh, I don't want to make more stuff, but I also do.
So it sure has been a while since we've been at the bar. Yeah, you've really dropped the ball lately.
That's a tie into the Halloween thing.
Hey, no. Wow, so it sure has been a while since we've been at the bar. Yeah, you've really dropped the ball lately. I feel like I can't tell if it's because I've been lazy or busy. Is there a thing such as lazy busy? Of course, it's when you are working on something super important and as a result let other equally important things accidentally fall through the cracks.
Mhm.
So basically your parenting style.
And of course, my brother never pulls any punches with his encouragement. All right, this one's the official continuation of the Save the Pub series called Purple Nurple.
Jeff, we can't serve beer to minors. Hello, young man. Would you like some of my leftover fries from Whataburger? This is it, Jeff. Finally, our new brew is going to take the world by storm. You said you needed a ride to the hospital. What the fuck is this? Step 1. We get
Playing
people
off
to
of the
try
joke
our
again.
new Purple Nurple. Step 2. The bar is packed non-stop. Step 3. We claw our way out of the crippling debt you racked up buying and wasting all our brewing materials. I think step 3 is profit, Jeff. Ha. In any case, I can't believe no one has been by our booth yet. I can. You put Pat in charge of marketing. Hello everybody. Do you like podcasts? Listen to our podcast. It's about stuff you like probably.
Okay, so yes, it's true. At the time, I may have been a little bit more like animated about advertising our podcast. I was very adamant about trying to get people to listen to it. Well, in the meantime, between podcasts, I was making 9 a.m. still, hold people over, but ironically, I was falling behind on them. So I was making fun of myself, just basically at this point, holding flyers out at an expo, being like, please listen to it. Please. Come on, Mr. Scrooge, would you please listen to it? And it's like, oh, boy. So here's Tip and Jeff, again, playing off the joke of Tip having to get Jeff to drive him to the airport after being a little tipsy himself.
Sigh. Oh look, you have a customer. Jeff, we can't serve beer
I
to
don't know why I
minors.
chose leprechauns.
Hello young
They
man,
just always seem funny
would
to
you
me.
like some of my leftover fries from Whataburger?
I am not a minor.
Going once.
Actually, I came over to ask you about your bar. I've never heard of it.
Ugh.
And that's how a marketing person feels
Come on,
when
Pat.
people say stuff
I'll
like
buy
that.
you an ice cream and drive you home. Can we listen to the podcast on the way? Never mind. Jeff, just anything but NPR. So you've never heard of Tipsies? Then your expectations are right where they ought to be. Here, have a Purple Nurple on the house.
Hey, this is amazing. It's definitely going to win first place this year.
That's kind of you to say. It might actually replace our old brand BC Man beer.
BC Man? Mind if I try it?
Sure.
BC Man is a brand that's the collective names of all of the JE. It's Brandon, Chase. The last name of Julian starts with M. A is for the last name of Brandon's, and then N is for the last name of me and Johnny. So it essentially is a combination of all of our ideas into this one beer, which we wanted to do at some point, but it's one thing when you have your friends and you're like, hey, let's all get together and make a beer, and it sounds real great until, oh boy, there's work involved. Suddenly it's not as fun anymore. Hey, Mr. Derelict, thank you for joining.
Thing, pal. Luckily I brought one keg with me.
Yeah, I can see why you're moving on to the purple nurple. Would you be interested in a friendly wager?
I am a friendly person. Please go on.
If you beat our beer in this competition, we'll grant you any wish you want.
You can do that? I thought leprechauns only stole gold.
Sometimes, but lately we've been trying wish granting. People seem to respond more positively to that.
Wow. I could finally get someone to clean the bathrooms.
But in exchange, if you lose, you will sign over your bar to us.
My bar? That's a bit extreme, don't you think? Not very friendly.
Think about it carefully. Any wish you want.
Well, now that you put it that way, okay, sure.
Oh look, here comes
Remember,
the judge
Tip's still desperate to try to find any type of money to save the bar. Here comes the judge.
Sorry boys, no hard feelings. Well shit. Hey wait.
Of course, so the joke there is that Tip had the winning beer all along, but he was trying so hard to not, use his old beer. He kept saying, oh, let's try something new to do it, when really what he already had was more than enough to win, and sure enough, it was. So the joke was that it wasn't as good as he thought it was, and basically he just got the participant ribbon, which in any competition is just like, why do you even give anything at that point? What is the thing around that? All right, so the next episode, which is I was talking about how I found leprechauns funny for the sake of the urban legend. I feel so represented here. It's for, I'm not trying to pick on the Irish people. You of all people know how much I love Ireland, and it's just funny because they're little tiny creatures that run around, and they're always playing tricks on people, and I thought it was funny, but it's so insensitive of me. I await my inevitable cancellation. For shame. Anyway, this next episode I will probably get the copyright claim for it. I don't care, because who cares? But this one was supposed to be the conclusion of season 1 of 9 a.m. and I'm quite proud of it. It's called For the Road. So before we get into that, I'm going to take a quick break, and I will be right back. Please stay around. Farewell. Alrighty, welcome back, everybody. This one again is supposed to have been the season finale for season 1 of 9 a.m. And we'll just get right into it.
It was an honest man's wager and I lost fair and square. You wagered using all of our investments. You lost the bar to a what now? That would explain where all these leprechauns came from. It was an honest man's wager and I lost fair and
See,
square.
he's true to his deal.
You wagered using all of our investments. Is there anything we can do?
See, rewatching this is a great reminder that as I am now, I'm still a hack, because you have this one just floating in the air here. But yes, now that they won the bar, they're all here and they're all enjoying it, and they're like, this is the greatest place ever. Oh,
There
the
is
table's
plenty
floating
we
too.
could do.
Doggone it.
Legally.
Jeez.
What am I, a fucking magician?
Ooh.
Tip: if you explain that you didn't feel that it was a legitimate wager, you could still weasel your way out of this. But I already signed the lease over. You suck. Johnny, is there any kind of loophole that can get us out of this? Wait, what's going on? Great.
Once you're all done with your drinks, get the feck out.
Gents, I hate to say it, but this is it for tipsies. How
Here
about
comes the
one more
copyright
for the
claims.
road?
Oh. 7 Deadly Sins. Yay. I'll let the whole thing play and then I'll go back and make some comments. Oh god, I forgot about this guy. I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh.
What the fuck just happened?
Okay. So a lot's going on here, and I appreciate you guys going along for the ride. I'm gonna probably mute it this time because I don't want to double down on it. But essentially, the guys show up. They have to turn over the bar to the leprechauns because Tip lost his bet fair and square. He made the deal, but they're all getting ready to go, and they say, "Okay, one more for the road," which is usually what we say whenever we're all together hanging out, and then. So it's like, okay, guys, we better get going. One more for the road. And then obviously, we're done. Well, in this case, they offer the leprechaun one of the BC Man beers, and he knocks it aside like, I don't want this. This is garbage. After they just stole the competition using it, which I know doesn't make any sense because they seem to be enjoying it back here. But maybe it's just that one leprechaun. I mean, look at this guy. He doesn't even have his head on. Dear God, I can't believe he's... Look, I was making these things in a hurry. Then, the guys obviously get mad. And about that time, I started really getting into Blender. This is the very beginnings of that, Mr. Derelict, and using Mixamo. You'll see some stuff that was from Mixamo, but all of it, except for Julian spinning around on the table, was animated by hand. And once I discovered something like Mixamo existed, I was like, well, why haven't I been doing that? So this was before MMD. Way, way before. So yes, here he comes staggering up, asking for his drink. Put a little bit of sound, not too much, because I won't get in trouble. And then, of course, I have to employ the one thing that I always do almost any scene that I make. I learned this once from a Peter McKinnon video, and I just abuse it now, where I make the cinematic bars come in, and it's supposed to give the idea that, whoa, now something's more intense. But nah. I actually designed each one of these characters in 3D, It took forever. As you can see, they're not the greatest in the world because I was still learning, okay, well, how do I sculpt a sphere into this, these little balloon looking heads, right? And considering the time that I had, and it wasn't too bad, and I was kind of going for like what they look like in Final Fantasy VII, where they have kind of blocky exterior limbs, because it still makes the point, I learned how to use Shatter's effect and all this fun stuff. This next joke coming up is actually something that happened in real life. My friends, Julian, Tip, and I think it was Chase, were at an apartment complex at one of our friends' apartment complexes, and they were hanging out at a pool. And all of a sudden, these kids started throwing rocks at them while they were in the pool. So Julian got up to confront them and be like, "Hey, what are you doing? What's your problem? Why are you doing that?" And Tip, being a good friend, walked up behind Julian like, "Julian, please don't start anything. This is not going to go well." Well, sure enough, the guy threw a punch at Julian. Julian ducked, and he hit Tip instead, and Tip went flying, and he landed in a bush, and he was in the bush for the rest of the confrontation. So he took one hit, and then that was it. And this is to kind of joke at that. Now you'll see here that Brandon has these two sabers. They're actually what we used in our high school honor guard. We would use them to present things, and they're just ceremonial decorations. They were actually real sabers. They were sharp, but I mean they were so flimsy they'd fall apart. So the joke here is showing the guys, wow, they're these sharp little powerful tools. And Brandon was one of the co-commanders, and Johnny was the honor guard commander. So of course in this regard I have to try to make him look cool, and also I'm trying to play with animation. I want to see, okay, what can I do to make this more exciting and fun and moving. And so I knew nothing about a one camera shot back then. I was trying to do as much of it with one camera as possible, but I'm glad you see halfway through it I'm like, nope, we're gonna go back to clipping. And then there's a little tap for BC Man. And here we have the Boer's Light, which we already established was Tip's joke while he was a little bit out of it. And it is actually the contents of the urinals. And here we go. Is the bin in the episode where Pat tries X. Tip says at the very end, "Go ahead and throw it in the bin." Well, this is supposed to have been all of that. Pat accidentally fell into it after looking cool fighting on the bar counter, right? Something about the bar counter that's hilarious to me. And the idea is he drank it, and he was supposed to buff up into that weird form, and then he's able to fight that crazy, giant-looking dude who walks in. And it was supposed to be a whole thing, but after animating that far, I had not posted an episode for a long time. So I was like, you know what? I gotta end this quickly. So the idea was he went like that, he destroyed everything, and it just ended. So that's what I got from Expo for the first time. Of course, everybody had their little cool moment, so I had to give Johnny his. But, gets knocked out anyway. And then poor Tip.
What the fuck just happened?
Oof. And then back then, I guess I didn't have this much of a problem with swearing, but technically I wasn't the one swearing. It was the character swearing, and the guys do swear. I choose not to. Oh, boy. Okay, so after this, a couple of years went by. I hadn't made anything. I was just, I was tired. And that, like I said, that was supposed to be the end of season 1. And then after a while, you know how it is, like, oh, maybe season 1 ending could just be a series ending. Because I want to play with Halo stuff. I want to play with 3D, 9 a.m., like the avatar that I'm using right now. And I want to be able to try other stuff. But I thought, you know what? No, I need to go back and just do a few more because I miss that style. And I still haven't completely given up on doing 9 a.m.s, the original ones. But, there's so many different fun things out there. And I guess they say what they call it, opportunity paralysis. That's where I'm at. It's like, oof. All right, so let's move on to Raising the Bar. This came out a couple of years after, and is about them getting back into it. A little loud.
You lost the bar to a what now? That would explain where all these leprechauns came from. Johnny, is there any kind of loophole that can get us out of this? Wait, what's going on? Great. Gents, I hate to say it, but this is it for tipsies. How about one more for the
I
road?
think I got this from Production Crate, the sounds and all that good stuff.
What the fuck just happened?
And I really wanted to start utilizing 3D in a more, like, useful
Damn it.
way.
I am going to be late again.
So there's our 3D rooftop and the destruction that was there. And the little theme song's supposed to be the elevator music.
Oh right. Shit. What time is it? Oh shit,
The
it's
idea is he
4:59
forgot.
p.m. Gotta hurry. Absolutely, sir. I'd be more than happy to assist you with that matter. The first thing we need to do is... What?
Okay, so that joke, again, if you have to explain something, it's probably not as funny as you think it is, right? But my brother and Johnny, he works hard. He is a tough person when he's at work, and he goes crazy. But he has a rule, and I can't blame him for it. The second the day ends, he's like, I'm done. That's it. I'm not doing anymore. And he goes back to being the goofy guy he is. And more than one person has commented on that. So I just wanted to illustrate that if you're off calling Johnny about a work-related matter by 1 minute, you're on your own.
Oh no, Johnny, what do we need to do first? Wait, who is this? It's Tip. I wanna open the bar again. Hey, that's a great idea. Keep me posted.
Avoiding the issue.
Now what should I
don't
do?
involve me.
Oh right. Shit. Pat. Ugh. Here we go again.
Okay. And then, of course, at that point, after working on oneself for a while, I had talked to another member of that server. His name was Kirkland, who got me into JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. And so that was always funny to me, that little ending. So I had to do that at least once. Okay.
How are the repairs coming, Pat? It's enriching my life with every passing second. Glad to hear that. Any chance you're going...
Oh my gosh, what was going on with Tip's mouth? How did I miss that? Well, the joke here is the idea that, hey, let's redo this project for the group. Well, wait a minute. Why is Pat the only one doing the work? Yes, I can tend to be a little bit passive aggressive at times, but again, I tend to volunteer people for things when they don't really want to do it, or they're like, yeah, you can do that, but just, don't really give me too much involvement. It's like, okay, sorry. And then this is what happens.
Going to be done soon? Would be sooner if you'd help me work on it. I am working. It's called management. Oh. Does that mean I'll get paid? I just said I was a manager, Pat, not an accountant. Hey. Working hard, I see. Always, Johnny, always. It's been a lot of hard work, but I think it's worth it. Pat, I have a question. Kind of busy here. Just real quick. What? Why does it look like shit? Oh no.
Again, Johnny's
Wait, it
world
looks like
famous
shit.
encouragement.
Is it supposed to look like shit on purpose? Ugh. So anyway, here are designs for the pub you asked.
And Tip immediately, hearing somebody else disapprove of it, because Pat's building it exactly the way it was before, and I didn't really want to change too much about it. But now Johnny shows up and goes, why does it look terrible? And Tip's like, oh, wait, you're right. It does look terrible, Pat.
4. This is a recipe for a vegan steak. Step 1. Throw it away.
Sorry, we were
It's on
picking
the
on Brandon
back.
at the time. He was a vegan. In real
Looks
life.
good. Pat? We need to start over, but try to hurry. I don't want to be here too late. Hey, wait.
Based on true stories. All right, so that one. Okay, let's see here. Where are we? Yes. Okay, so the one after that one is my Christmas special, which I will definitely add to the viewing routine here in a while. But I want to save it closer to the holidays thing. It'll give me something to talk about during the holidays when really content slows down. And we'll get to that. But the next one I want to get to is one called Package. It's the one that takes place after the Christmas episode and just talks about it's still one of the schemes that Tip had for trying to save the bar, but it's just a little bit out of order. Go to this next one here.
That music coming from. Man, that was one crazy Christmas adventure. What are you talking about, Pat? Pat is making up stories again. But the weather machine, and the memory eraser? Pat, there is no such thing as a weather machine or a memory eraser. Ugh.
Keep blocking.
Hey, where
Chase.
is Tip? I am not sure. He kept bugging all of us to come here to tell us some great idea he had. He said it would prevent the bar from going broke again. Wait, where is that music coming from? What the fuck?
Again, picking on Tip and how far he'll go to entertain, but also save the bar.
I bet he'll remember this as either the best or worst night of his life. Nope.
Okay, so I should clarify. The joke in that scene is kind of hard without the Christmas special. The idea is that that's the memory eraser. But there's a joke behind it, and yes, it's a revolver, but it makes sense going forward. Let's see here. Okay, after I was done with that full, we came back, we finished the, save the bar arc and all that stuff. It was like, okay, well, what else can I do to make it fun? And in that meantime, I was taking inspiration from several things, and I was trying my best not to, do something repetitive or redundant. I didn't want him to keep going into another, life or death arc every season, because that's been done already. And let's have a fun episode.
Tuesdays are like, man, they're...
About this time, Brandon was about to get married, and they were planning his bachelor party. And so this episode is about Tip planning the bachelor party. Also, he makes a joke here at the beginning, and this has to do with the shorts I've been doing dailies of, where Tip was just constantly giving people encouragement and advice, which I think was a good move. I think it's awesome to be able to encourage people as much as you can. And they have, and this is just Tip being like, you know what? I ran out of ideas, and the idea is it's an episode now.
Like, man, there are only so many things you can say about the week, huh? Hey Tip, what's the deal? Hey Johnny, what's the story? Just wanted to make sure you're ready for Brandon's bachelor party. Bachelor party? He's tying the knot. Who's the lucky lady? Megan. Since it's his last hurrah, I was thinking about the bachelor party. We're going to need a lot of hooch for the party. Can we have it here?
Okay, so I should point out that, yes, this introduces a younger person inside of this. And again, it's a show intended not for kids, for adults. And they're portrayed by an AI voice. But the idea is that this is my kid, and I was watching him for the day. But the problem was Johnny and Tip were planning Brandon's bachelor party. So there was a lot of like, oh crap, he can't be listening to this stuff.
Wait a sec, Pat. You got Josh there? Yeah, I'm just watching him today. Little Jimmy, you say. Quick, what's 2 + 2?
I'm 8 years old, Uncle Tip, not 5.
quick, what is 8 minus 5?
3. What's the marginal tax rate for a single filer making $85,000 in the year 2023?
Oh boy.
So the joke here is that the kid has he's pretty sharp. I think he's sharper than me. Gets it from his mother, I think. And they always talk to him like a kid, and which is great. He is a kid, but he gets obsessed with the very the minutia of very obscure topics, and he's pretty sharp in that regard. So this is something he would basically have a conversation with Tip about. Like, okay, yeah, you're asking me a very simple question. Here's this. But poor Tip, he always sees my kid as like a perpetual 5-6 years old, and it's like, no, Tip, you got older. I'm like, oh, I'll be damned.
I was hoping you'd ask about taxes. Pat, get on that. Sigh, I heard you talking about the bachelor party. Are you sure we can talk about that with the little guy around? Right, Josh, cover your ears so you don't hear Uncle Johnny and Tip's crazy schemes. Okay, you're good. And that's just the first hour. Ugh. Hey,
and thus kind of reflects the little bit of trickiness that comes with hanging out with the guys, but also being a parent, you have to be careful with what they listen to and what they don't, and making sure that you're with your friends, but hey guys, don't forget we can't be talking like that in front of the kid. And so my friends are really good about that, especially Tip and Johnny. They get it, but it's hilarious. This, of course, is my jab at a certain food chain restaurant.
Welcome to Smack Daniels, where we hate to see you frown. Welcome to Smack Daniels, where we hate to see you frown. How can I help you today? Burger. Absolutely, sir. Which kind? Cheese. Would you like a combo? Maybe. Yes, I guess. Drink? Sure. What kind? Purple. That's a color, not a flavor. Grape. Fries. Medium, large. Would you like to pay 53 cents more to bigot? The fuck you call me? Would you like to bigot? The meal. Smack Daniels, you just lost a customer.
So this was actually based off of a true story where Tip and Chase went to a McDonald's, and I guess, the idea is you want to supersize it or whatever, but they didn't know the person was either new or whatever. He's like, the thing where you want to make it bigger, did you want a bigot? And then Chase, being dumb, goes, what did you call me? Because it sounded like he said a bigot. And obviously he wasn't. It was very simple, but at the same time, it was just a very hilarious incident because Chase misunderstood. Alrighty.
Ugh. Welcome to Smack Daniels, where we hate to see you frown. How can I help you today? Burger. Ugh.
I was also playing off the joke that usually Tip and Chase, whenever you're asking them questions, sometimes their answers are so like this, and like this, and like this. And it's like, okay, can you just tell me everything it is you want? I don't have to be guessing every 5 seconds. I will admit the background here was made using AI art. I'm so sorry, but I'm going to be honest about it because that's honestly what it is. I mean, I did it to try it out. It was ChatGPT had just started, and all these crazy things were like, wow, hey, this might help get them out of the bar. I don't want them to be in the bar the entire time. So this is where it was going. And I believe this is the last one of the, let's see, I need to double check real quick. We'll figure it out.
My Starbucks rewards points are unbeatable.
This is another, based off another true story.
Pat,
Except for
let me
Tip's
tell
part.
you, my Starbucks rewards points are unbeatable. I've been earning so many points, especially with all my travel expenses. Oh, come on, Chase. You think your rewards points are impressive? My McDonald's rewards points offers incredible cashback and discounts on everyday purchases. I'm sure mine are better than yours. Hey, what's the hubbub, boys? Rewards points causing some friction? We're having a friendly dispute about who has the best rewards points, and Pat here thinks he can beat mine. Well, let me tell you both about a secret. The bank...
Before I go on, I have to point out something. You'll notice that all the other characters now have a cleaner, sleeker look, because I took them all into Adobe Illustrator and I made them look a little bit more, refined and all the stuff. They got the cool little edges. They're not perfect because I still want them to look like, they're dumpy selves, but I don't want it to be, too over the top perfect, because then it's not a 2D show, or that's silly to me. The only joke that I left in without saying anything was, and he never noticed, the only character I never upgraded was Chase. I just left him exactly the same. I was waiting for him to say something about it, and then when he did, I was going to go and I was going to fix it. But during this whole run, it was like, let's see if he notices. And then you can see the line still sticking out of his neck. I found it hilarious.
Let me tell you both about a secret. The bank has the best rewards points. The bank? I've never heard of that. What kind of rewards does the bank offer? Oh, it's quite unique, fellas. You just show them a bag, any bag, that's a box, and they start putting money in it, plus, they even set off a celebration bell. Are you serious, Tip? That sounds like some kind of scam. Yeah, I'm with Pat on this one. It's too good to be true. Oh, it's true, alright. I tried it myself, and let me tell you, it's a life changer. You just show them a bag, say reward me, and they start stuffing it with money. Bing bang boom. Tip, you've got to be kidding. Hey, it's legit. I've experienced the magic myself.
To give it an extra dimension, so to speak. I know that's kind of lame, right? But because there's a 3D dimension. Ooh. But no, I wanted to do something different and fun. And the joke here was that Tip went into the bank thinking, or the idea is somebody told him to do that, and then he went, he did it, it worked, but they saw a box with a $sign on it, which traditionally means, oh, I'm robbing you. So they give him the money and he got out, but he's like, oh crap, I robbed the bank. That never happened in real life, by the way. We just had to pick on Tip because him and Chase and Sax and everybody would always constantly be talking about the reward points. And I was like, really? Anyway, well, guys, that is the last one of episode 20 to episode 30, barring the Halloween episodes and the Christmas episodes. I sure do really appreciate you guys joining me for this. I try to keep these short and sweet because I know that it can be a lot of information to digest, but I am very, very grateful that you guys joined me on this, and I hope you all have a great rest of your day. I will catch you all next time, and fare thee well. Goodbye!